again. I'm back at it again, man. Listen, we got a lot to discuss tonight. People going back and forth with Sean Payton, all that stuff. Okay, we're going to also be talking about Jets training camp. We got the Browns game coming up, Hall of Fame game. We're going to be talking about it all. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Give me 1 second, folks. We're going to connect the audio. Hold on 1 second.
Blog Talk Radio.
What's going on, folks? It's your boy Long Beach Joe, and I am back at it, back at it, back at it again. Your boy's back at it again, man. Listen. Oh, we have a lot to discuss. We're going to be talking about Aaron Rodgers responding to Sean Payton and his comments about Hackett. Hackett also responded as well. We're going to be discussing that. We're also going to be talking about Dalvin Cook leaving the Jets facility. Not signed yet. Okay, we are live. All right, it's a Tuesday. Okay, at 7 p.m. Eastern, we're live. Maybe he signs while the show is live. That would be wonderful. But he's not signed right now. We'll be discussing that. We're also going to be discussing the upcoming game against the Browns. Hall of Fame game, baby. Joe Klecko, Revis, they're in the building. They're going into the hall. Oh, yes. Oh, man, we got to talk about that, too. Two amazing Jets. We're going to be discussing that. We're also going to be discussing Jets training camp, okay? All right, this is going to be quite a show. So I'm fired up already. Listen, let me get into the show. I'm the man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote my Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search The Long Beach Joe Show. Like that page. My content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message me. I'll message you right back. I love going back and forth with you folks about this football team. Also, leave me some feedback. I love hearing about what you folks think I do here on The Long Beach Joe Show. I am also on iTunes as well. Okay, go on over to iTunes. Okay, type in The Long Beach Joe Show. Subscribe to the podcast on there and give me a 5-star rating and leave me some feedback. Okay, I appreciate everyone that does that. All right, I really truly appreciate it. And for those of you that do not know, listen, I'm also on Twitter as well. Going over to Twitter, type in at The Long Beach Joe, at The Long Beach Joe, and I'll come right on up. Go ahead and follow the show's page on there and talk to your boy because I'll talk back. Personal Twitter is at YoungJ000, at YoungJ 3 zeros. Okay? And follow me, man. Talk to me. I'll talk back. I go back and forth with all Jets fans and even people that aren't Jets fans. Okay? Got a lot of Packer fans on me. They be trying to get after you, boy. I don't even be saying nothing. I'll be minding my own business. They're so upset that Aaron Rodgers is the Jets quarterback. They just keep going on and on. I don't know why. I'm not even bothering anybody. I'm just wearing my green jersey. But, they want to talk to me. So, I let them talk. I don't respond, Your boy is also live as well on YouTube for those of you that do not know. Some people run into the YouTube show and they're shocked. They're like, Joe, man, we love your takes. We love what you got to say. We love how you reach out to everyone in the fan base and you take calls and you listen to people, but we didn't know that you were so handsome. And I say, thank you. Thank you, ladies. Thank you. All right. I'm not an arrogant person. I'm just here, trying to do what I can. And, so come on by if you want to see me, if you want to see what we got going on here, come on over to the YouTube. All right. Go on YouTube, type in Long Beach Joe Jets, Long Beach Joe Jets on YouTube. Okay, subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed already and hit that notification bell so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. All right, and I appreciate everybody that does this. All right. Also, give the streams a thumbs up, and don't be shy, because when you come in here, best believe you will be met by the savages. Okay. You know who the savages are? The savages are my chat. All right. You want to know why I call my chat the savages? Because they're savage. Savage. They get after everybody, even me. Nobody is safe. Okay. Keep that in mind. Nobody is safe. All right. They will get after you. Trust and believe. If they don't like your take, they're going to let you know about it. Okay. So just know that. Now we're going to talk. All right. Because we got a lot to discuss now that we've gotten that out the way. Listen, callers, hold on just 1 second. Quickly, we're going to cover these things. 973, Steve, other new callers as well. Hold on. We'll get to everybody. Listen, there's been a lot going on. As we know, Sean Payton made comments about Nathaniel Hackett and the Jets recently. He did try to walk some of those comments back, but it angered quite a bit of people, right? We heard, Sulla come out and speak his piece about them. Aaron Rodgers also had something to say, which we're going to cover now. Other teammates as well have had things to say. There's a lot of people around the league that didn't like it either. But Aaron Rodgers definitely checked, absolutely checked Sean Payton with what he had to say. And I'm going to let you guys listen to these comments that Aaron Rodgers had to say in response to Sean Payton and his comments. Here they are.
Ask you about Sean Payton's comments directly, but I will ask you to maybe address Nathaniel Hackett as a coach and what he means to you and what he can bring to this Jets team. That story goes out there. I had about 1 million texts from people in the coaching community saying that was out of line. Yet you see Hackett out here, he's still pumped up. I don't think it affects him as much as maybe it affects everyone on the outside, and yet you and him have this great bond and union together where you've always had his back, he's always had yours.
Yeah, I love Nathaniel Hackett, and those comments were very surprising. For a coach to do that to another coach. My love for Hack goes deep. We had some great years together in Green Bay, kept in touch. Love him and his family. He's an incredible family man, incredible dad. And on the field, he's arguably my favorite coach I've ever had in the NFL. Just his approach to it, how he makes it fun, how he cares about the guys, just how he goes about his business with respect, with leadership, with honesty, with integrity. And it made me feel bad that someone who's accomplished a lot in the league is that insecure that they have to take another man down to set themselves up for some sort of easy fall if it doesn't go well for that team this year. I thought it was way out of line and inappropriate, and I think he needs to keep my coach's names out of his mouth.
Ooh. Ooh, did Aaron Rodgers set him straight or what? Whoa, right? Listen. And that, listen, Aaron Rodgers is a Jet through and through, clearly, right? We're sitting here, we listen to these comments, and what did he say? Listen, keep my coach's names out of your mouth. And again, I know that Sean Payton has tried to walk this back and tried to apologize the best he can, but he knew exactly what he was doing when he let those comments fly out of his mouth. He knew that. And the crazy thing to me about this situation is that if you're Sean Payton, right, you're coming in to be the head coach of the Denver Broncos, you're trying to set a tone there. You're trying to set a tone. And when you come in and you're talking about guys that are no longer there, guys that are out of the door, you're setting all these excuses. All you're doing is setting a situation up filled with excuses and lack of accountability. That's not how you set a tone with the new team you're coaching. Not at all. I thought those comments were crazy. Again, I know he's tried to walk them back, but those comments clearly angered many within the Jets facility. And let me tell you something. It just wasn't Aaron Rodgers that talked about those comments. It wasn't Aaron Rodgers just responded. Nathaniel Hackett also responded to the comments as well. And I want you folks to listen to what he had to say. Here's what Nathaniel Hackett had to say in response to Aaron Rodgers.
I've been involved in this business my whole life, 43 years. And as a coach, as a coach's kid, we live in a glass house. We know that. We all live in different rooms. We all got a key for it. And it's one of those things that there's a code, there's a way things are done in that house. And, this past week, it's frustrating and it sucks, but We're all susceptible to it. There are things that you do, mistakes you make, and it costs you time on the field, costs you your job, all those things, and I own all that stuff. I mean, it's that fact. I got no excuses. That's how we live here at the New York Jets. That's how we've lived everywhere I've been. No excuses. So I own all those things, and it's unfortunate that had to happen, the comments that were made, but hey, they did. I'll tell you, I was probably more surprised that they happened now. Was definitely expecting them in week 5. So I'm almost thankful that we got that, out of the way. We all understand where certain people feel and think. And I'll tell you, you can always look at that silver lining. And, man, this organization, these players, the coaches, Saleh, just the entire organization, Woody, Jaime, Gelfand, everybody has been unbelievable. I think that's something that is just awesome. It's brought our team together. Even the old players that I've coached very recently, just being able to, hear them. And it makes you understand that you do this for a very specific reason, for the love of the game, for the love of teaching, for the love of watching people grow. And there's ups and downs. Never get too high, never get too low. And, gotta love this stuff.
Sean broke that code, violated that code?
I do. And I just think that within this glass house that we all live in, and it's one of those things, it's very expected. You knew it was going to happen. You knew he was going to handle it that way at some point. It's how it was going all last year. And but hey, now it is what it is, and we move on. I'm very excited about this team. There's been a lot of really good stuff going on here, and I want to be sure we're focusing on that.
Now listen, we heard Nathaniel Hackett. He's ready to move on, and he's focused on this, but clearly he was angered by those as well. He talked about how Sean Payton broke a code. I believe that as well. There's no way a coach of the ilk of Sean Payton, who's done so many things in this league, should be speaking that way about another coach in this league. But still and yet he did that. But again, Hackett, as you heard, he's worried about what's going on here in this building, all the great things that we're doing, all the wonderful people he's working with, Coach Saleh, everyone else, all the players that we have here, all the expectations that are set up for the season. He's focused on that. He's not going to let this, roll him down at all whatsoever. I just find, again, those comments were extremely shocking to come out of Sean Payton's mouth. Not only the way he talked about Nathaniel Hackett, but the way that he talked about the New York Jets as a franchise as well. Bashing us, talking about how we're, trying to grandstand and all these things with Hard Knocks and stuff like that. Whoa, brother. The New York Jets tried to turn down Hard Knocks multiple times. We did. We absolutely did. Privately, and publicly. Saleh came out and talked about, I don't want Hard Knocks. Multiple players, including Aaron Rodgers, was trying to, hey, stop this train. Hardy talked about not wanting Hard Knocks as well, it possibly being a distraction. And even when the New York Jets were forced into Hard Knocks as well, you could clearly see that they begrudgingly had to deal with it. Aaron Rodgers himself talked about how, hey, they're shoving it down our throat, but there's nothing we could do. Mind-blowing. But clearly, those comments have angered many in that building, and I believe that hate, because it was top-tier hate, will add as fuel to the New York Jets this upcoming season. It's going to be us against everyone else. That's what it is. So, salute and respect to you, Sean Payton, because in my personal opinion, you're flushed. Yeah, we'll see you week 5. We'll see you week 5. Coach Payton. We'll see what's up. All right. Now, as we continue to talk about what's been going on here with the New York Jets callers, we'll get to you guys in a second. Dalvin Cook did come and meet with the Jets. Okay, he absolutely did come and meet with the Jets. We saw him on the field as well. He walked around the during training camp, met with different people. We saw him meeting with Woody Johnson. We saw the Jets fan base as well going off when he was in the building too. We heard Dalvin Cook. All right, listen, fan base letting it be known that he is wanted and he is welcomed here, okay, when he decides to sign. And we all thought, that he would sign that day, but to this point, he is not signed with the New York Jets, okay? He talked about it as well on ESPN, talked about how, he's going to go sort things out, talk with his family, figure out if it's the best way, for him to go, figure out what he wants to do going forward. But, I have kind of a feeling that the New York Jets are probably number one on his list. All right. Tony Richardson, former New York Jets, great fullback, great player, and a great person. Okay. I love Tony Richardson. Tony Richardson, in an interview, kind of tipped a hand and said that he knows some people within the Jets facility. And he said that the deal's, pretty much done. That Dalvin Cook at some point is going to be a New York Jet. Okay. Now, he said this before, Dalvin was on the field during training camp and things like that. But, Tony Richardson said he's got some inside information. So maybe, Cook's just sorting things out, and then we'll see him in green and white jersey. But to this point, Dalvin Cook has not signed with the New York Jets, and we'll see what's going on going forward. All right. Now, also, training camp's been looking really good, right? We've seen a lot of people out there making plays. Bam Knight, Alan Lazard, CJ Uzama, Tyler Conklin looking solid out there. We've seen Lazard get real big in the red zone. Man, he's going up and getting footballs like crazy. A lot of things moving and shaking out there. We're also seeing Aaron Rodgers communicate with the defensive players, which is super dope to me to see, right? Why? Because it's learning from each other, right? Iron sharpening iron, right? Now, what happens in this exchange of information is Aaron Rodgers gets to pick the brain of the defender. What did you see when we were setting up? When we came out of our set and when we lined up, what did you think was going to happen? Did what happened during the play, did it play out exactly how you read it pre-snap, right? That helps him come out and disguise things. Now, the Jets have a top defense in this league. Last year, we were 4th overall. You know what I'm saying? This is a very quality defense, right? So that helps Aaron Rodgers. If Whitehead tells him some things, he can sort some things out. Okay, I need to disguise things this way, and that way. Because Whitehead is a really good safety in this league. So when he goes up against a lot of these other NFL defenses that we're going to face this year, he can have in his mind, well, Whitehead told me he saw it this way as a safety. I'm thinking that this safety out here, he ain't as good as Whitehead, but he's probably seeing it somewhere around that way. Let me disguise this and throw him off and destroy him, right? Then you look at it from Whitehead's standpoint. He gets to come out and exchange information with Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers can tell him, well, this is what I saw. That's what I saw. He can now go to the defense and say, hey, look, Aaron Rodgers, we all know, phenomenal quarterback in this league, right? This is what he's seeing. He thinks you're overplaying this side. He saw you leaning. We came out in this set. He didn't know the pressure was coming from here, or he did know the pressure was coming from there. We got to make our adjustments like that. That makes them better against some of these top quarterbacks that we're going to be playing this upcoming season as well. The mental chess game is big. So I really like Aaron Rodgers doing that exchange. We saw it with Whitehead. We saw him talking with Quinnen Williams as well. So that stuff is huge. Training camp's going solid, man. We're also seeing a lot of guys step up and show out, man. Guys like Jason Brownlee. Whoo. He had a little bit of an arm injury, but from what we're hearing, it's nothing too big, but he made a one-handed catch today. Whoa! I'm talking, it was a crazy, okay? It was a crazy catch. Whoa! It was wild. Jason Brownlee continues to flash, man, and this was a guy that I talked about consistently throughout the offseason. Okay, I talked about him before Denzel Mims was gone. He was a guy that I was talking about could possibly push Denzel Mims off this roster. This kid Brownlee is doing his thing. It's going to be very interesting as we continue to go forward, see how he's utilized. Maybe he'll play in the upcoming game against the Browns. Again, we'll see how that arm injury is going. But he's a guy at this point, man, that I could really see making the New York Jets roster. I mean, like I talked about that one-handed catch today, but we saw him beat Sauce on a play before for a TD. This guy is flashing all the time, and his relationship with Aaron Rodgers is growing by the day. We see that as well. So he's an exciting one. You know who else is exciting? Mekhi Becton. Mekhi Becton, he's feeling better and better every single day. Talked about he's put together a couple of really good practices, feeling like the strength in that knee is getting better and better. He came out today and talked about his knee. He also talked about, the situation with his knee as far as getting injured this last season. It wasn't totally on the coaches. He said that he had the wrong surgery in 2021 and that he had to have another surgery to get it right. And that is what, kind of cost him issues with that knee because he had to get that another surgery in 2022. So, he stepped up and said that. But let me tell you something. He's out here and he looks really, really good. He looks good, and you can tell that he's feeling good. He talked about how he's getting his feet back underneath him, and Sulla spoke about it as well. He's also talked about as well, Becton has come out and said that he's, open to playing right tackle. He wants to go out there, he wants to play, and he wants to start. So we're going to see what's going on, man, but he's working hard. He is working hard. And let me tell you something. A lot of people, are down on Mekhi Becton. I understand. He's been missed for about 2 years. But let me tell you something. This guy's coming back and he's doing his thing. And him panning out for the New York Jets bodes well for us. Because if he can step up and get rolling, right? If he can step up and get rolling, let's say he takes that left tackle position, that's going to solve an issue for the New York Jets for years to come, because we'll have a guy that's young enough to continue to flourish and grow with the franchise. That is big. That is really big, okay? Especially, again, with all the questions that are along the offensive line, left tackle and right tackle being one of them, right? If this guy can step up and secure one of those spots, and not only secure him, but come back into the form that he was his rookie season, whoa, that is going to bode well for us. Because, again, we got A-Rod here. We don't want him running for his life, right? Let this guy make plays from the pocket. Let him do what A-Rod does, which is shred up defenses. We don't need him, back there with a linebacker or a defensive end, chasing him all over the place or hitting him constantly. We don't want that. So if Mekhi Becton can get it rolling, and again, the strength is in that knee, he's saying he's feeling better day by day, he will be playing in the Hall of Fame game. He will be, okay? And so will Zach Wilson. Okay, we'll get to the callers in 1 second. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Also, Savages in the chat, I see you. Jets mess, Deshaun Lattimore. We'll come to you in a second. Put your questions in the chat, Savages, if you have any, and I will come to you, with these in between these calls, and we'll have a discussion with y'all as well. Don't be shy. Y'all don't be shy anyway, but definitely don't be shy. So especially, the questions along the offensive line, as we continue to have those type of discussions, if Becton can sort out and pan out, that would be big. And then you look at this offensive line as a whole, there's a lot of questions outside of just Mekhi Becton. Laken Tomlinson, hey, is he going to step up this upcoming season? He had a very questionable season last season, wasn't very good. Is he going to have a bounce back year this year? You look at the center position. Tippmann, McGovern, to this point, Tippmann has really been working with the third team, second team, sometimes third team. It's looking like Connor McGovern is the guy that's in the lead for the center position. Even though it's going to be a battle, we got to see who's going to shake out there. But let's say Connor McGovern is the guy they go with. Connor McGovern wasn't the best last season as well. Can he step up and become better than we saw last season? ATV coming back from that injury. We'll see what's going on. Let me tell you something. ATV was an all-pro caliber guard. You know what I'm saying? All-pro caliber guard. I think he is phenomenal, right? But we got to see what he comes back, looking like after that injury. I think he'll be fine. Then you got a question mark there at right tackle as well. Is it Max Mitchell? Is it Billy Turner? Is it going to be Mekhi Becton? To this point, Dwayne Brown, he's still on the PUP. Everybody's screaming about Dwayne Brown. He's still on the PUP list right now. Never mind the fact he's going to be like 38 years old, And there's big questions about him too. Can he stay healthy for a full season? He missed time last season as well. So, the offensive line is definitely something that's going to be focused on. The offensive line is definitely have a lot of question marks about it. And people are absolutely right and justified in being concerned about the Jets offensive line going into the season. That's one of the most question mark field position groups on the offense. So, listen, we got quite a bit to discuss tonight again. Training camp has been crazy. We got the Hall of Fame game coming up. Keep in mind, not only will Mekhi Becton play in that game, but so will Zach Wilson. My boy Zach Wilson, right? Everybody kind of, has wrote him off, left him for dead. Let me tell you something. Zach Wilson has been looking all right through camp. He's been making plays out there. He's had some days where it's been down, but he's been making some crisp throws out there, okay? All right, so we're going to see him go out there, and I'll tell you what, the only thing I really want to see from Zach Wilson in this upcoming game against the Browns is I want to see him go out there and have a command of the offense. That's another thing I think people are forgetting. Nathaniel Hackett, at least here, is a new offensive coordinator here. He's implementing his scheme and the way he does things. Yes, they're still running things, some concepts from LaFleur, but the way that Nathaniel Hackett runs his system, there's different ticks, there's different verbiage, there's different things that they're going to be going out there. Can they pick that up and go out there immediately and execute a lot of these things? To this point, right, in training camp, we've seen a lot and heard a lot of talk about the defense really dominating. And the offense has had its days here and there, but for the most part, there's been miscues. There's been a lot of pre-snap penalties. There's been miscommunications, which is going to get cleaned up, right? It's going to get cleaned up. But keep in mind that this is the first year, Nathaniel Hackett's here. It takes some time. There's only really a handful of guys that understand what this offense looks and feels like, have been within this offense, understand what it looks and feels like running at 100% with Aaron Rodgers under center with an NFL defense trying to take your head off. That's Billy Turner, Randall Cobb, Alan Lazard, Aaron Rodgers himself, Nathaniel Hackett, right? Tim Boyle, right? Those guys, are the guys that, understand what it's like here. So, we'll see what's going on here and how it's moving and shaking there. We'll see how things sort out. But it's going to be very interesting to see Zach Wilson and see what he can put together against the Browns in the Hall of Fame game, okay? So, again, 515-602-9639, 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We are taking all callers again. Please be patient when you call in. We will get to everyone. Also, Aaron Rodgers talked about taking a $35 million pay cut. Wow. He talked about that, and he talked about it basically, being a decision that was very easy for him. He said, hey, big names, may fall out during the trade deadline, and there may be some guys that can come in and help us. And, hey, I want us to be prepared, and that's why he gave that money back. That shows commitment to the New York Jets. That shows commitment to what we've built. It shows commitment to Joe Douglas. It shows commitment to the football team. He's not just talking the talk, but he's walking the walk as well. All right, we'll be discussing that tonight. Again, 515-602-9639, 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. First caller I'm going to, we're going to hit these lines, all right? I'm going to my guy, Steve. Steve, I'm coming directly to you, okay? I'm coming directly to you. We're coming to Steve. Steve salutes. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. Before we let Steve even talk, okay, just know, Steve, he's a savage. Savage! Steve salutes. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. Listen, Steve, we're talking that talk. There's a lot of things moving and shaking right now with the New York Jets. What are your thoughts about Aaron Rodgers and Nathaniel Hackett's response to Sean Payton's comments about Nathaniel Hackett?
Hey, Joe. Well, first of all, it's always great to have you back on your show, even though we just recently spoke on Friday. But, it's always great to hear from you, talk about this football team. And, Joe, finally, we have a game this week.
Yeah.
When I mean we have a game, we have a game.
Oh, yeah.
But it is a preseason game. Not all the starters are going to play in this game on Thursday. But it's going to be fun to see football getting back. Now, before we do get into that, listen, the thing about Nathaniel Hackett and Aaron Rodgers, with the responses, listen, they responded. They needed to respond what they needed to say. And all we could just say is, like you said earlier, we'll see you in week 5.
Yeah, we will
see you in week 5.
Listen, we're going to see him in week 5, Steve. I mean, he was talking crazy. He tried to walk it back. He's talking crazy. But I like the fact that, again, you have Aaron Rodgers backing his coach up. We all know he loves Nathaniel Hackett. He said it's one of his most favorite coaches he's ever, dealt with in his career. And then, again, we got Nathaniel Hackett saying, hey, look, I'm not going to let this sideline me. I'm not going to let this, I'm not lose focus over the situation. We got a lot of great things here, and I'm focused on what we're doing here. So I like the way that they responded. Now, another question I have for you, Steve. Dalvin Cook came into the building, right? Everybody was hyped. Everybody was excited. We thought that he would be signed, okay? We thought that the deal would be done. There was a lot of talk, a lot of people with inside information. Deal's going to be signed. He's going to be done. Dalvin Cook then leaves the New York Jets facility without a deal. How are you feeling about that, Steve? I've talked to some Jets fans that are panicking, that think he will go elsewhere. How are you feeling about it? Are you worried that Dalvin Cook will not become a New York Jet?
Listen, I'm not really too worried about it right now because listen, Dalvin Cook may want to go explore, look at other teams, because maybe he wants to give other teams maybe a chance and see what he wants to do. I mean, listen, I know he did say that he did like his visit with the Jets. He did like meeting the players, and the coaching staff. He even met with the owner, Woody Johnson, as well. But you know what? Listen, right now, Joe, we just have to get things focused and moving on with other things. We just can't worry about Dalvin Cook right now.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact now as we're moving along. and keeping it rolling, like you said, because we got a game coming up. We got to discuss this, man. Zach Wilson is going to be playing in this upcoming game against the Browns. What are your expectations for him, man? What are you expecting out of this guy, in this upcoming preseason game, the Hall of Fame game?
Let me say this about going into this game, because everybody all says every year, oh, the preseason games are boring to watch. The preseason games are this and that. You don't really get to see all the starters play. You know something though, Joe? This is actually a really, really, really big audition for Zach Wilson to see if he can get his career back where it needs to go. I mean, listen, he's in a brand new offense, going into this year. He's now with a well-experienced offensive coordinator, and especially of what he's learned under Rodgers, in camp. The thing is, I am really, really excited to watch Zach play on Thursday night when we go to Camden, Ohio, to play against the Browns. And I think it's gonna be a really, really, really exciting moment. And it's also gonna be exciting because this is gonna be the first time that Mekhi Becton has not been on the field since the first game of the year back in 2021 when he injured his leg that year. Mm-hmm. And everyone all says to this day that that he was to blame to get hurt on that play. Let me tell you something. If you guys ever go back to that first game of the year, and I said this to many other Jets fans, that if you go back to that game, a guy who used to play on our team, I'm not really going to bash him out. I mean, he was a terrible offensive lineman, but Greg Van Rotten.
Yeah,
his last name is Roten, but I call him Greg Van Rotten because he was trash, that player. Oh. He was the reason why Mekhi Becton got hurt on that play in that game.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I can't wait for Becton to get on the field on Thursday.
Yeah, I can't wait either. I'm really hoping that, again, that he feels good. He's been talking about he's had some great practices that he's put together as well. Things are feeling good. Things are feeling more natural. And he's talking about how he's getting that strength back in that knee, that confidence in that knee, so that he can go out there and do his thing. And I want to get your thoughts on this, Steve. How do you feel about him coming out and saying that he's open to playing right tackle, even though, again, we heard, last season the pressure from playing right tackle caused the issue with his knee. What are your thoughts about him now turning around saying, hey, I'm open to playing right tackle? Do you feel like that shows that he's gaining more and more confidence in the strength of that knee?
Yeah, no, it definitely shows. I mean, listen, it's just that I just think he's just really, really excited to finally get back on the field for the very first time since 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't expect it to get back on the field. And I know that Becton has even said before, like, listen, if I got to do the right tackle position, I will do the right tackle position. I know he won't be too crazy about it, but I know that the one thing he is doing is he wants to win a starting job.
Mm-hmm.
But I know he's got a lot of work to do. But you know something? We're going to see it on Thursday.
Yeah, we absolutely will. Now, as we continue to look at this offensive line, there's a lot of things moving and shaking. What are your thoughts about Tippmann? What are you expecting out of him? I think he's going to be a guy that's going to be out there playing as well. Are you excited to see him out there?
Oh, absolutely. I'm excited because I know for a fact that mostly all the rookies are going to play in this
Mm-hmm.
game on Thursday. But the one player that I've been looking forward to, and we've spoken about it before, Jason Brownlee, man.
Yep.
Jason Brownlee.
Yep.
And I don't know if you've been seeing those one-handed catches.
Yeah.
Catches. Yeah. Pretty soon, I don't know about you, Joe. I think I'm going to have to be in the mood for a brownie sundae. What do you think?
Yeah, listen, Steve. Jason Brownlee has been looking phenomenal. I talked about him, before camp, that he was a guy that can move and shake, and he has really shown up and been showing out. I think he's a guy that's going to push to make a roster, and I'm going to be excited to watch him as well. And you talked about the defense a bit too. Listen, Will McDonald, all the other rookies is going to be out there. I think Zaire Barnes should be out there as well. Jarek Bernard. There's so many guys that I cannot wait to see out there moving and shaking, going out there making plays, getting their feet underneath them and getting things rolling. But especially Will McDonald. If he's out there, it's going to be exciting. I want to see if he's going to be able to get a sack in his first preseason game. Do you think it'll happen, Steve?
Hey, Joe. Yeah, Joe. One thing is, about this game is, listen, on Thursday, there's not really going to be any starters we're going to see on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for us, there's going to be no Aaron Rodgers. There's going to be no Breece Hall.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be no Sauce Gardner, no Garrett Wilson, no C.J. Mosley, none of the Williams brothers are going to play in the game. Like, most of our main starters are not going to play. And listen, the same thing's going to happen, too, with the Browns on Thursday. Like, no Deshaun Watson, no Nick Chubb, no Amari Cooper. Listen, the real test is going to be when we see that team much later in the year on December 28th and Week 17, right after Christmas.
Exactly. This is, it's preseason. And, again, everyone has their different, thought processes about – not putting guys out there and not putting your starters out there. Of course, we've heard Sella already say that he's not going to play his starters until possibly the Giants game, if that, right? We can talk about that a little bit later as well. But, this is all about getting those guys out there and the backups out there and getting them out there and having them run and go out there and try to make plays the best that they can. Go ahead.
Yes, and Joe, I'm going to be honest with you just really quickly about Aaron Rodgers. I know that Robert Saleh did say earlier that there is a chance that he would play in the final preseason game against the Giants.
Yeah.
I got to be honest with you, Joe, and listen, you may not like this opinion or not. I don't want to see Aaron Rodgers taking a snap at all in this preseason at all.
Wow.
Because if one wrong move happens to Rodgers, and if he gets hurt, and if he gets hurt really badly, it won't be good.
Yeah. Well, look, I disagree with that. And here's why I disagree with that. This is we have a new offensive coordinator here in Nathaniel Hackett. He's installing, what he's installing with his offense, different ticks, different stuff that he wants to do. Again, we know there's a lot of familiarity with Mike LaFleur's system that was ran here, but this is a different offensive coordinator, different mind, right? Of course, we have some guys that know, what's going on, that have been in this offense: Tim Boyle, Aaron Rodgers, Alan Lazard, Randall Cobb, Billy Turner. Those guys, they know what's going on. But we have a host of other guys that are still, trying to pick things up. C.J. Uzama, Tyler Conklin, Garrett Wilson, Mecole Hardman, who's brand new to the Jets, and he's, within this offense. There's a host of other guys as well, especially you look along our offensive line outside of Billy Turner. A lot of those guys are trying to pick it up too. And so when you look at this situation, especially with the New York Jets in the situation we're in right now, expectations are extremely high. We have 6 primetime games, possibly 7. Of course, we're going to be on Hard Knocks. The fanfare is out of the door. Like, everything is crazy. Heck, Method Man was at training camp today. If you didn't know, the Method Man, Wu-Tang Forever, okay? He was at training camp today. Every camera is focused on the New York Jets, and our schedule is riddled with killers. I mean, we play some really tough teams, especially early, right? We play teams like the Chiefs. We play teams like the Bills early, Cowboys. The Patriots are always well coached. The Eagles. There's so many good teams. Chargers. I can keep going on about the list of good teams that we play this upcoming season. The New York Jets offense has to come out hot out the gate. We have to start hot. We have to. Because every team this year, right, and we could talk about the Chiefs and the Bills. Those are great teams. But even the teams that we don't think are good, even the teams that we feel like we should steamroll, they're going to come out and play against us like they're in the Super Bowl because they know everybody's going to be watching. Everybody. The lights are going to be the brightest when the New York Jets roll into town. So I feel like just to set yourself up for success, just to get some type of momentum, especially with some of the questions that we have at critical key position groups like the offensive line, just to set yourself up for some good mojo flowing into the season, just let the guys play a series. That's it. Just a drive. Have Aaron Rodgers and your guys go out there just for a drive. I'm not saying a full game. I'm not saying a full quarter. I'm not saying 3 quarters, nothing like that. I'm just saying give them a series so they can go out there and just get that feel of what it's like to be out there together with Aaron Rodgers under center. That's my big thing. What are your thoughts now, Steve?
Listen, Joe, I understand you make some good points. And let's say if Aaron Rodgers does have to play in the final preseason game, listen, I would only let him play one series, and that would be it. Like, even if, let's say, if you don't score, that's okay. I don't care. get off the field, and we'll get ready for the first week of the game against Buffalo.
Mhm.
But, listen, the end of the day, it is Coach Saleh's decision on what he does. But as of right now, as of what Coach Saleh did say, he is still not going to have Rodgers, play in any of the preseason games. And listen, there have been at times in the past too, Joe, where he didn't play in the preseason game, even when Nathaniel Hackett was with him in Green Bay.
Yeah.
And look, he was still an MVP quarterback.
Yeah,
But
no, listen.
The only thing is, Joe,
Mhm.
Joe.
Go ahead.
Because the one thing is, listen, if they're going to play in the preseason games, going down the road, that's fine. But the one thing that we always have to hope for is at the end of the day is that everyone gets out of that game healthy.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I care about.
Yeah.
So
No, listen, you're talking facts, and I get what you're saying. Yeah, of course, there's been preseasons where he didn't play, but he was around people that were extremely familiar and had been in that system for more than a year. There with Nathaniel Hackett and LaFleur when he was with the Packers and all. That's fine, but this is year one in the system for a lot of guys that are here. So me personally, I would like to see them run for a series, but we know Sulla has already talked about not putting his starters out there until the game against the Giants. Okay, but it is what it is. Now my final question for you, Steve, because you've been talking that talk. We got Revis and Klecko. Okay, Revis and Joe Klecko going into the Hall of Fame. Give me your thoughts about those two great Jets getting that fanfare, getting that recognition by the NFL, man, and becoming Hall of Famers. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, listen, I never really watched Joe Klecko a lot because, listen, Joe Klecko always played in the 1980s. The only thing I could remember about Joe Klecko was that he was a member of the New York Stock Exchange. But, and listen, I'm happy for Joe Klecko. And not only that, the Jets will put him in the Ring of Honor at halftime in week number 4 on Sunday Night Football against Kansas City. So congratulations to Mr. Klecko.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to talk to you about Revis.
Talk to me.
Let me tell you.
Talk to me.
I watched Darrelle Revis when I was in high school. And let me tell you something. I remember back in 2007, Mike Tannenbaum was aggressive in that draft, and we traded up to the number 14th pick to select Darrelle Revis. And a lot of fans were like, okay, we ended up picking this corner out of Pittsburgh. Let's see what this kid can do. So I remember, Joe, if you remember when Revis's career began, one of the worst games he had his rookie season was the first game of the year when he got torched by Randy Moss. Like, if you remember that game when he got torched by Randy Moss, the first game of the year against New England in 2007, and everybody was all calling Revis a bust and all of this stuff. But Revis learned. And then towards the end of 2007, he started to get a lot better. Then in 2008, he was getting better and better as well. Then came that amazing season he had, which we called Revis Island in 2009. I remember that he got his revenge on Randy Moss a couple of years later when the Patriots came to the old Giant Stadium, and the Jets won that game 16-9, and Giant Stadium was so electric. Like, I even went to a couple of games that year when I watched Revis just pick off a player. Each and every week, he always would intercept the player. I remember another one of the best games he had back in 2010, and I was actually just watching this as a highlight, Joe, before you got me onto the show. That game against Detroit, when he only gave up one catch for 13 yards on Megatron. That game in Detroit that year. Do you remember that game?
Oh, yes.
Let me tell you.
Oh, yes.
Darrelle Revis to this day goes down, in my opinion, as one of the best players that ever played for the New York Jets.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have that corner in Sauce now. And the thing is here's the thing I will say this. Darrelle Revis and Sauce Gardner are two totally different players. Revis was always the player that always knew how to cover, but Sauce is like, not only can Sauce cover, but Sauce is also physical as well. Like, I remember the one thing I loved about Revis was when Revis would always go up against those big, tall receivers. Like, if anybody remembers that AFC divisional playoff game in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
How the Jets gave no one a chance because the defense was so small and the offense of the Chargers was so big.
Yep.
Well, guess what? We ended up beating the Chargers that day 17-14 when Revis made that amazing interception off his back. Darrelle Revis, let me tell you something. He earned his way into the Hall of Fame, and I am so happy for him. Once when he was a first ballot Hall of Famer, I even said this to myself, Joe, we're going to the Hall of Fame game. And guess what? We're going to the game on Thursday.
Yep. Yeah, listen, well, congratulations. Look, Steve, this is a phenomenal call from you, man. Let me give you a hand, man. Give him a hand. Yeah. Give Steve a hand. This was a darn good call. I like it. All right. Whoa. Not too much, okay? I'm not paying y'all for the extra clap, okay? Steve was good. He was great. He gave us some great takes, but slow down, all right? Slow down, everyone. Listen, Steve, it was phenomenal to speak with you. I want to thank you for calling in. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you, all right, my friend?
All right, Joe. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
All right, you have a good one. Listen, Steve calling in with some fire, okay? We're going to keep getting to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking our callers. Salutes to Deshaun Lattimore in the chat. Salutes to you. He says, Aaron said he wouldn't mind playing in the preseason. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers did say that, and he wouldn't mind playing some preseason football. And like I said earlier, look, I'm not bashing Coach Sulla. I'm not doing that. And I understand that everybody's excited about what the Jets are doing and what we have here, and there's a lot to be excited about. But keep in mind, again, 973 will come to you in a second. Keep in mind that this is a new offensive coordinator trying to install, his system here and the way that he does things. And there's a bunch of guys on his team that are just, getting up to speed with what's going on here. Again, we're hearing C.J. Uzomah talk about every day. He's learning something new from Aaron Rodgers every single day. Also, if you look at training camp, if you've been following it from the beginning until now, the offense has kind of been up and down, right? We've heard a lot about there's been some great days, some flashes, some great throws here and there, but for the most part, our defense has really been, putting that work in. Our offense is coming along, though, right? And that's usually what happens, especially in that first year. But we've heard about a lot of miscommunications, miscues, pre-snap penalties as well. Some issues along our offensive line here. We've also heard about our offensive line getting beat up by our defensive front. And maybe that's just because our defensive front is that dominant. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got Q, you got Lawson, you got them boys out there. But there's some guys that still need to figure out where they're going. So getting 8 out there on the field and having him under center, again, for just a drive or maybe 2 drives in a preseason game, a couple preseason games, I think would bode well for the New York Jets offense because they have to hit the ground running this season. They have to. We faced too many killers this year, too many great teams to be coming out and trying to, really get rolling. Because I'm telling you, off the bat, we playing the Bills, and we know the Bills defense is serious business. So put that in the chat. Give me your thoughts on that, folks. We'll keep getting to these lines again. 515-602-9639 is the number. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. I'm taking all callers. Again, when you call in, please be patient. We'll get to everybody. New callers, just know, okay, I do not allow cursing on my show, okay? You curse on my show, I'll get you out of here fast. I'm talking fast. Faster than we got Denzel Mims out of here. Whoa, that was fast. I'm going to double up. Faster than we got Elijah Moore up out of here. Whoa, that was fast. I'm going to triple up. Faster than we got Jamal Adams out of here. Whoa, that was fast. Boy, you complain and Joe Douglas will get your behind up out of here. He will get you out of here fast, huh? He get you out of here fast. All right. It is what it is. Also, please subscribe if you have not subscribed already. Okay, hit that notification bell so when I post content, you'll be in the know. Also, hit the thumbs up button. Okay, for those of you that haven't already, please hit the thumbs up button. It helps the show get shared across platforms, okay, or across YouTube. All right. Oh, man, that was a double. That was a triple up right there. I'm telling you, you can play Joe Douglas to get you gone. He'll get you gone fast. Got rid of Elijah Moore. All right. We got some capital back. Got rid of Jamal Adams. Everybody's celebrating that trade now. I remember your boy was out in the wind by himself for like 2 years. I was the guy screaming, get that guy up out of here. Nobody wanted to hear me. Nobody wanted to hear you, boy. You know, I was by myself, just alone, out on the street, eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. It was just me by myself. All right. But now everybody's celebrating the trade. Okay, cool. I told you. All right. 515-602-9639 is number. Call in. The lines are open. Next, we're going to go to 973. 973, I'm coming directly to you. Okay. 973, salutes to you, my friend. I want to thank you for calling in, man. Give me your thoughts. We got a lot of things moving and shaking right now with the New York Jets. We got Nathaniel Hackett and Aaron Rodgers responding to Sean Payton's comments. Yeah. What are your thoughts about the comments, and what are your thoughts about their responses?
Well, I'll say one thing. Will Hackett be able to hack it, first of all? That's the question right there. And I was not particularly thrilled with the comments that were made. I mean, he had no right to say it whatsoever. I thought it was very insulting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, he may be in charge, but, you know, there are some things you just don't say. I mean, that's like personal bashing right there.
Yeah, yeah.
So anyway, even though this is a preseason game, you know, I actually am looking forward to it. You know, it's been building up to the hype. You know, I don't know if Rodgers is going to play, you know, this game or not, but, you know, it's looking very positive than past seasons. And I'm looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope that, Aaron Rodgers can, you know, live up to the hype. You know, he's been on a downward spiral for the last 3 or 4 years. I mean, he's not the same as he was when he was, you know, with the Super Bowl winning Packers. But, you know, he also had a lot of, tension going on and didn't want to be a teamer. Now maybe he can put that aside and maybe give the Jets, you know, a good season and hopefully avoid that late season crash we had last season. I mean,
well,
we were on the
hold on a second. Hold on. I want to answer that what you were saying. I don't mean to cut you off, but yeah, look, I think that Aaron Rodgers is going to be okay. All right. I think there was a lot of factors there with Green Bay that was, you know, that caused a lot of that issue. A lot of it was talk about his thumb, that him having issues with that thumb is what really caused a lot of problems, especially, and we know he's a quarterback. He's got to use that hand to throw. Mm-hmm. So that was a lot of issues as well. And we saw that there was a lot of turmoil behind the scenes as well with the front office, him in the front office, and we saw that relationship. So a lot of things, you know, I think went sour there. He's moved on and he's here now. I think that we'll get a solid, you know, Aaron Rodgers. And let me tell you something. If Aaron Rodgers doesn't even have to be, right? And of course, I think he'll be a top 5 quarterback in this league, me personally. But Aaron Rodgers could be a top 10, top 15 QB, and I think the New York Jets would be in a perfect position to compete in the playoffs and possibly make a run. Look at where the New York Jets were with bottom of the barrel, no disrespect, right? But bottom of the barrel quarterback play last season. Yep. It was very up and down. From Zach Wilson, Mike White was solid until he got his ribs jacked up, and then things just went off the rails for him as well, right? We still had a chance to make the playoffs with 6 games left, and we couldn't win one of them. As bad as the Jets' offense was last season, and it was bad. It was bad. As bad as they were, and as up and down as we were, we still had a chance to make the playoffs with 6 games left in the season, and we couldn't get one damn W. Not one. As a matter of fact, in 3 of those games, the New York Jets offense didn't even score a touchdown. I mean, what in the world is going on? Flush that. I'm flushing it. I'm sorry. I'm flushing that poop. That was poop. It was bad. That is really bad. So even with that, right? We were still in position to get things done. Even if you go back and you watch that Vikings game, the New York Jets had a ton of chances in the red zone and couldn't punch the ball in, right? We get 2 scores in that game, we win easily. The Jets defense was phenomenal. 4th overall last season, and they literally were on the field all game. Aaron Rodgers here now with what we have here as well. Alan Lazard out there as well at wide receiver. Garrett Wilson continuing forward, taking the next step. This offense should be way better than it was last season. But give me your thoughts. Go ahead.
Well, if you're mentioning Wilson, I mean, I don't think Wilson was able to cut it last year, and that was the problem. If it was for Mike, if Mike White wasn't hurt, he could have been a perfect, substitute before Wilson, but he got hurt, and that's what put the nail in the coffin right there.
Mm-hmm.
The Jets can't stay healthy. That's the big problem. If our quarterbacks can stay healthy, maybe we can be in contention to get better than we did last year, and maybe get a playoff spot.
Mm-hmm.
But they always seem to mess it up and get healthy by one injury after another.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know if the team is cursed or not, but every time we look to see something happen, the opposite occurs.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we got. That's what we got to avoid.
No,
I mean,
listen.
Personally, I went with Mike White.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's gone now. Again, Zach
I went
Wilson
with
is.
Betty White.
Yeah, Zach Wilson is still here, and this is going to be my question for you because you were talking about we're talking about the upcoming game against the Browns. Give me your thoughts. What are you expecting out of Zach Wilson when he steps on that field in the Hall of Fame game? What do you want to see?
Well, first I just see him and I like Cleveland, to be honest with you. But Zach has to avoid getting injured. If they can do that, maybe they can measure up this season. I don't see much of getting anything from Cleveland. Because they are, the mistake on the lake. That's what they're known as. So I think it should be, a fairly easy game for us. And, we'll see how Wilson holds up.
Yeah.
If he can, get past, these getting injured, like in the first, because in the first preseason game last year, guess what? He was injured.
Yeah. I mean, he was moving. He tried to make a cut against Philly and did jack up his knee. But he was able to get back on the field. But yeah, you definitely want to come out of this preseason with everybody healthy. So you're making a good point there. Now, my final question for you, my friend, give me your thoughts, man. Revis, right? Darrelle Revis, Joe Klecko going into the Hall of Fame. Give me your thoughts about that situation. How excited are you for these two great Jets to get into the Hall?
Two great Jets is right. Darrelle Revis and Joe Klecko from when I was growing up, he was the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
On the team also with Gaston and everything. That was the Jets team of the '80s. Okay, we didn't make it to the Super Bowl, but we were competitive. We made it to the playoffs considerably. The Jets were good in the '80s. People seem to forget that.
Mm-hmm.
But Klecko was part of the reason. In fact, it was one of the main reasons why we were good back then. So. Klecko, long overdue for the Hall of Fame. Long overdue.
Yep.
And it finally paid off.
Yeah. Yeah, it's insane. I mean, Joe Klecko, I've talked about it with multiple people. Long overdue. I mean, this guy made the Pro Bowl with 3 positions across the defensive line. He was insane. Part of the sack exchange. I mean, 4-time Pro Bowl. He did so many great things for the New York Jets. He should have been in a long time ago. And I mean, Revis, Revis is just, come on. That guy was a first ballot Hall of Famer. You look at what he was able to do from the cornerback position. I mean, he played against really good wide receivers, too. It wasn't like he was playing against scrubs and bums, nothing like that. The top of the top, he was there. Megatron, Randy Moss, the list goes on and on against top receivers that he would face on a weekly basis. He was a guy that followed the number one weapon, okay? Wherever you was at, he was going to be there, too. Okay, so he was following you around, and he was going to shut you down. And when he got his clamps on you, you were done. You were no longer a part of the offense, not the offensive game plan for whatever team that you played for. So just to show his dominance, that guy literally shut down a whole side of the field by himself with whoever he was covering. It was insane. You just didn't throw at him. And that's why when Asante Samuels was running his mouth, talking about stats and interceptions, and that only matters when we talk about corners, the interceptions and the stats ain't high because nobody wanted to throw at him, dog. Nobody even thought, hey, maybe I should chuck this ball in Revis's direction. That's not even a logical thought. You just don't do it because it's Revis, right? So, to see him get into the Hall is phenomenal as well. I'll give you the final words.
Yeah, I mean, because, like I'm 53 now, and I remember when I was like 11, 12, and Klecko, was in there and, made the Jets, the team of like, in our division before Buffalo became, what they are now, and before the team I call them, you call them the Patriots. The Jets were right up there, in the AFC East.
Yeah.
One thing that stopped was Miami.
Yeah.
The Jets were good in 1980.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people seem to forget that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. And like I said, Klecko was the reason why.
Yeah. You're talking that talk. You're talking that talk, man.
I've been a Jet fan for like, let's see, I'm 53. I've been a Jet fan for like the last 46 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Listen, you're talking that talk. I want to thank you for calling in tonight, my friend. It's been phenomenal to speak with you. I got to slide off. You have yourself a good one, man. Listen, we're talking that talk, man. Joe Klecko, Revis getting into the Hall of Fame. We'll keep getting to these lines. 515-602-9639. Call in. Rusty, we see you. Other callers as well. Hold on. Salutes to Venom G's in the chat. He says, facts, Joe. I'm telling you. I understand a lot of people, okay, are talking about preseason. They don't want to see Rodgers take a snap, and I get it. But, you know, there's a couple guys here that understand, again, what this looks like in game time, in real game time with the defense trying to kill you. They know what it's like to have Aaron Rodgers under center, be right next to him. But there is a host of guys that are new to this situation, and they're learning and getting that momentum, getting your feet, under you at this point in time, taking those snaps in preseason with Aaron Rodgers there, maybe a drive or 2 drives a preseason game, at least a drive. I would be comfortable with at least a drive. I think would really help the offense gain momentum, especially with so many question marks along our offensive line. I don't know, man. But again, I love Robert Saleh, and I get where he's coming from. I'm not bashing him. All right. We're going to get back to the lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Salute to all the savages in the chat as well. Jets Mess, LaShawn, Venom, everybody in there. Throw your questions in there. I'll see y'all. Come to y'all in between calls. We'll get to it. I'm only one man. Okay. Next, we're going to Rusty. Rusty, we're coming directly to you. And before we let Rusty even talk, for those of you that do not know, that man Rusty, he's a savage. Savage! Listen, Rusty, salutes to you. Thank you for calling in. I love talking to you about this team. Listen, Rusty, we got a lot to cover, okay? Aaron Rodgers, Nathaniel Hackett responded to the comments that Sean Payton made about Nathaniel Hackett. What are your thoughts about what they had to say?
Thanks for that nuclear heat for the furnace. What idiots. We're going to kill him. It's great. The first thing, I'm still, I'm pissed at it, but, I was mad at first. And then, it sank in after a couple of minutes. I'm like, wow. Clemens just popped into my head, just like him in the baseball bat and his newest, what he said at the press conference with, I'm a bleep, you guys just got to bleep a monster. So I just started laughing. I was like, he's dead. Then I felt like the Russian from Rocky, he dies, he dies. It's all, oh man, Denver, man, we're going to put up, seriously, we're going to put up probably like an 80 burger plus on them. It's going to be like that.
Ooh.
I don't know, man. It's going to be, there's going to be no holding the dogs back at all. And, don't feed the dogs for a couple of days and just stick them loose on a freaking Denver Bronco and just go ham.
Yeah.
See, they're dead. And the Denver, I guarantee you the team, that Denver Broncos team was looking at Peyton like, bro, that's something you say in a locker room? you don't say it to a reporter. They're dead.
Man, let me tell you something, Rusty. When I heard those comments immediately, I said, oh boy, he has stepped in some dog doo-doo, okay? He should not have said those things.
Sure.
I knew off the jump, this is bulletin board material, right? We always talk about, the mainstream media is enough. They've been hating enough. All of a sudden, Aaron Rodgers becomes a Jet. He's not really that good anymore. He's a
material,
bum.
Man, that's bigger than bulletin.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is a bum now from the media.
Stuff. What an idiot.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is a bum from the media now, from mainstream media. The Jets they're hyped up. They're not going to be that real. But now we get to put you on a bulletin board too. You in the league, dog. We gonna see you.
Yeah.
We gonna see you this year, and you talking crazy.
That's what I mean. He's in the Times Square section, Sean Payton's son, bro.
Man.
He's
and
then
Rodgers
said it correctly too, man. He's already know he's drowning.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, yeah. Go ahead. He knows he's drowning. He knows that he's in a situation, right, where He's got to drum up something. But my thing is like, why use us? And then to come out and try to act like the New York Jets are grandstanding like we wanted Hard Knocks. Nobody wanted Hard Knocks on the Jets staff. They all tried to turn it down. It's like, Sean Payton, what are you talking about, man?
What?
Yeah,
no, what are you talking about, man?
Complete opposite, 180 of a statement.
Yeah,
you know?
What are you saying?
He's a McIdiot, dude. I don't know. He's a McIdiot. Thank God.
Man.
Oh, man.
Man. It was mind-blowing. It was mind-blowing. I'm telling you, that was completely not. But again, Nathaniel Hackett brought it about. He said, I'm not surprised. I'm surprised, that I'm not surprised that he was running his mouth. I'm just surprised that, it happened this early. He been saying this. He been doing this. So Nathaniel Hackett knows what time it is, and he also let people know, hey, look, I'm focused. I'm not bothered by it. I'm staying focused. I'm not going to, let this distract me whatsoever or distract what we're trying to do in this building. And that's big as well. So as we continue to move on, though, Rusty, go ahead.
Oh, my bad.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Right. I think Hackett too knows, like, he's not a coach. He knows that he's not like a good coach. He's like, all right, but I'm a hell of an offensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. He's like, I'm no Gase. Like Gase is. I think he got kicked out of like high school football in Michigan or something, like in Flint, Michigan. I don't even know. I know he was a high school coordinator, not even coach though.
Yeah.
You're like, oh man, that's how much he got degraded. So, and his. Yeah, I don't know, man. I like Hackett. He's like solid, but not. He's like high energy, but not solid. You know what I mean? Like he's an offensive. I don't know, and then he's just like his dad. He's grandfathered in legit in blood to the West Coast system. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, and Sean Payton can say whatever he wants. He's still, he's a Parcells boy, and he's the last of them, and he's fading out. And he's in the deep end, and that the lifesaver thing.
Yeah,
he's in the depths. He knows it, man, and that's why he's just doing that. Rodgers was right.
Yeah.
Ayahuasca's working, God. It's good stuff.
And it's crazy. What's crazy about it is a lot of people are talking about Nathaniel Hackett. Even then, I've gone back and forth with a lot of people talking about Nathaniel Hackett and. Things not working out with the Denver Broncos. And I want to remind people that sometimes coaches go places and it's just not a good fit. Things just don't work out. It happens, okay?
Yep.
Let me remind you folks of somebody, okay? Because I've gone back and forth with quite a lot of people about this. Does anybody remember Todd Bowles? Right? When we hired him, everybody was like, we were excited.
Toilet Bowles.
He came here. He wasn't that good of a head coach, right? There was issues, time management, all kind of issues with him, right? Him and McCagnon, all the stuff we went through with them and his team. We get rid of Todd Bowles. What does he do? He goes over to Tampa Bay. If you look at what he was able to do with Tampa Bay, it's phenomenal. Talk to those people in Tampa Bay about all the credit that they give him for winning that Super Bowl. That man put together a defensive game plan that literally made Patrick Mahomes look like a human being. I've never seen him look that human, ever.
Yeah.
I've never seen him look like a human being ever in any game as much as I saw him look as human as he did against Todd Bowles and his defense. Todd Bowles put together great defensive plans all throughout that year, right? So much so, right?
He came from before we got him, too. I thought he won a Super Bowl with somebody else before we got him, too. I can't remember who, though. I don't know why.
Yeah, he was so good there, right? That guess what? When Arians decided to move on and go on about his way and get out of coaching, they gave Todd Bowles a head coaching job over there, and he's over there doing his thing. So sometimes things just don't work out. That doesn't mean that a guy can't coach, and it dang sure doesn't mean that a guy can't be a good coordinator. Just because you maybe not getting it done, right, in a spot, maybe you're not getting it done as a head coach, doesn't mean you can't go somewhere and be a great coordinator and maybe get another head coaching shot down the line. So I just want to remind people of that.
Yeah, what was that guy from the Texans? Not Callahan, not that freaking idiot. The other guy before him.
Are you talking about Wade
Phillips? He was like mediocre, but not good.
Are you talking about Wade?
Well, Wade Phillips too.
Yeah,
Wade Phillips too. But I was talking about the other guy that has like the crew cut with the black hair.
I can't remember
him.
Yeah, but there's been a host of guys like that. He's a hell of an
offensive coordinator. He won Super Bowl, and you're right. Same thing with Wade Phillips.
Mm-hmm.
Wade Phillips is a hell of a coordinator too, man.
Yeah. So there's been guys out there that have done it. I just want to put that out there because I cannot stand when people just bash him and make, he's a bad head coach and blah, blah, blah. Look, he's not a head coach here. You know, and again, sometimes guys go places and they don't work out. Cameron, salutes to Cameron and Savage in the chat. He says Arizona. Arizona is where Bowles was. So, yeah, you know, sometimes things just don't work out.
Yeah,
you know,
he came close. Yeah, he was in there with the Steelers, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In the Super Bowl, they lost, but I think,
Yeah, things just don't work out. Yeah, salutes again to the Savages in the chat. Salutes to Jennifer as well. I see you. Salutes. Now, as we continue on, and we're talking about this football team, give me your thoughts about this situation, Rusty. Dalvin Cook comes into the building, right? We all think he's going to be there. We're getting a lot of people with inside information saying Dalvin Cook is going to be a Jet. It's done. He's going to sign. He comes in, has his physical, goes to training camp. We see him at the training camp. We see him at the facilities, walking around, right, in camp. But then he leaves the Jets facility not signed. What are your thoughts about this situation? Do you think that Dalvin Cook will actually be a Jet, or are you concerned that he's not going to actually end up signing with the green and white? You're breaking up a little. You're breaking up, Rusty. I don't know what's going on with you. There you go. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
can you hear me better?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Is this better, Joe?
That's wonderful.
Right, my bad. I'm sorry, bud. What do you call it? I would love it if he was, but to me, it's not end of the world if he isn't, because I don't know what Taylor might be a free agent. I really honestly don't want him just because of, you know, his indecisive moves, but I don't blame him too at the same time. Then there's also Kareem Hunt. I don't know why everyone's sleeping on Kareem Hunt, and he's like,
that's a good name, yeah, $2
million. So, heck yeah, and you never know, you know, with Devontae or, you know, with Evans. So you don't know what's going to happen in Tampa Bay, and then you don't know what's going to happen with the Raiders if they bottom out.
Yeah.
So as far as running backs go, if Cook falls through, I wouldn't mind a Kareem Hunt because his discount, it works. And I don't know. I think we'd probably trade Michael Carter to like the Saints, because isn't Kamara in like some serious legal troubles? I don't think he might not even play this season or something, right?
Yeah, I know that there's some situations going on with him. I don't exactly know what his status as far as playing, but there has been some stuff going on. My thought process about it is this, though, Rusty. I know that people are talking about, you know, bringing in Cook or other backs, right? And I want you to give me your opinion on this. If we don't end up with Cook, okay, fine, right? Breece Hall, we'll see what happens going forward with him. I know there's a lot of talk that he probably is not going to start the season, and I think that the Jets even dealing with
not.
Yeah, I think the Jets are even dealing with Cook kind of tips their hand to maybe they probably think that Breece is not going to be ready to start the season, which is fine. I don't want to see Breece on the field until he's 100% and that knee is fine. We all agree on that. Yeah, we all agree on that.
Yeah.
So my thought process is, why can't we go forward with Carter, Knight, and Izzy? Why can't we do that? Right? I understand. I don't know.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people want to get rid of Michael Carter because of the season last season. Everybody knows I love Michael Carter. But I think that there was a lot of things that people
not even that.
There was a lot of things in play that I think a lot of people don't talk about, right? I think what hindered Michael Carter.
I think it's the Moore situation with Carter, to be honest with you, because he went out publicly against the Jets.
Yeah. I mean, look.
And it doesn't work out well. I mean, even my boy Mims got the axe.
Yeah, I mean, listen. Well, Mims asked for a trade directly. He wanted to be gone because he wanted to compete for the #1 spot.
That's true.
Listen, Carter did support me. Elijah Moore. Told him he stood 10 toes down.
Elijah.
But again, there was a lot of things, going on, and that's his homie. So it is what it is. But I understand that. But keep in mind.
Yeah, I don't blame him, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, keep in mind. There was a lot of things moving and shaking last season. You look at the offensive line, a lot of injuries. Our offensive line failed to open up holes. They struggled, in the running game often, right? And even when the running game was working and things were able to get rolling, we would see Mike LaFleur often just go away from the running game, right? For no reason. Remember, there were games where it was like, our running, and now he's gone. You have Nathaniel Hackett here, right? So that fixes
he's
that
an old-headed idiot. I can't stand him. That guy.
So now we got Nathaniel Hackett here, right? And he's everywhere he's been, right? Even in Denver, he had a really good running game. Everywhere he's gone, no matter the back, he's had a solid running game. In Jacksonville and other places, everything's good there, right? So Our offensive line, we think is going to be okay this season, depending on how it shakes out, right? Okay. So
my bad.
you look at.
Go ahead. Sorry, I got distracted.
No,
maybe Leonard Fournette, if something works through.
Yeah, but
yeah, Hackett was with him.
Yeah, Hackett was there. Oh, Hackett was there in Jacksonville. Yeah, with him, with Fournette and Blake Bortles as well.
My bad. You said Jacksonville, and my brain went to that. I'm sorry.
Then you look at
Joe, my bad,
no, it's okay. Then you look at the situation with our quarterback, right? It was very easy to defend the New York Jets. You just stack the box and say, hey, Zach Wilson, beat me with your arm. He can't do that. You stack the box, you clog the running lane. There's nowhere to run. So I think a lot of that stuff is what we saw, and that's why we saw Michael Carter struggle last season the way that he did. But again, we've seen shining moments.
And we didn't use our tight ends.
Yeah, exactly. In our tight end position as well. There was a lot of things going on. So I think
it wasn't really used. It was getting, it started the engine, but it wasn't, pulled out of the driveway, I should say.
And so I understand people talking about trading Michael Carter, but I just feel like I want to see Michael Carter in a Nathaniel Hackett offense. I want to see this because, again, listen.
Same here, but if we get another running back, he's gone.
How? Why does it have to be him? Let's have this discussion. Why does it have to be him? Why can't Bam Knight be the guy? Because when you look at Michael Carter, I've seen Michael Carter
as a replacement for.
I've seen Michael Carter do it big. Go back and watch that Bengals game. Coming out the backfield, catching the football, him handing the ball to he was a single-handed reason why we won that game. Right? He was on fire at one point. He was on fire. Okay? Now, if you look at how Nathaniel Hackett utilizes his backs, look at what he did in Green Bay with Jamal Williams, Aaron Jones, those guys. Bro, Michael Carter can do all of that stuff. Michael Carter coming out the backfield is going to be a nightmare. And I think a lot of people are not talking about this either. And I want to get your thoughts on this. We talk about the weapons that we have here. We talk about Lazard, Garrett Wilson. We talk about the utilization of the tight end position, C.J. Uzama, Tyler Conklin, Jeremy Ruckert, who's coming on as well, who we're all excited about. I can't wait to see him in this upcoming preseason game as well. We talk about all these weapons moving and shaking, Mecole Hardman, all of this, right? But let me tell you something. Michael Carter coming out of the backfield with all of these weapons around him is going to be a nightmare for linebackers to deal with, or a safety, but it's probably going to be a linebacker. He is going to be a nightmare in the passing game, and I feel like a lot of people are not talking about that. Bruh, when he comes out the backfield, how are they going to keep up with him? How are they going to do that? And I want to give me your thoughts on that, man.
We shouldn't have him in goal line situations because he I don't know, he doesn't have power. Like, I love him. He just doesn't have power. To where if he gets tackled, Bam just runs through that stuff. You know what I mean? And Bam is fast, too, man. He'll hit his head on the goalpost. You know, and, Carter doesn't have blazing speeds, but he has darty side-to-side speed. You know what I mean? Like, he'll good luck trying to put your hand on him because he's just going to zigzag. But that's the thing, too, man. Like, he can't run any. I don't know. His first initial contact, he sort of dies at the line, or he gets pushed back a yard. To where Bam, he always falls like a yard or two forward. So that's where I'm at. But yeah, go ahead, bud.
I mean, I don't agree with that. Listen, Michael Carter, that first year with Zach was very slippery. Very slippery. He was getting away from guys. Yeah. Healthy Michael Carter was getting away from guys and he was cooking people. He would slide off you, he'd bounce right off you and keep it rolling. I just think that Michael Carter, and look, I'm a realist here. Everyone knows I like Carter, but I'm being real here.
Dealing with freaking LaFraud too, so I'm just saying,
Rusty
you gotta
hates
give all of our offense a little bit of a break. So
listen, Mike
looking out
LaFleur,
for my dude.
Mike LaFleur, this is from Rusty. This is from Rusty. Rusty hates Mike LaFleur. For those of you that do not know, he can't stand him.
I do.
Couldn't stand him when he was the actual offensive coordinator of the Jets.
I just want to play the Rams so bad and just
on a
paint
weekly
his guys just on their backs.
On a weekly basis, Rusty would call in simply to bash LaFleur. Okay, so he can't stand him. But getting back, listen, Michael Carter, I think it'd be phenomenal in the Nathaniel Hackett system with Aaron Rodgers being able to throw him the football. Right? No more Zach throwing the ball 15 yards over guys' heads or 15 yards behind them. I'm telling you, I think Carter would be solid, especially again going forward with Bam Knight. And Izzy is another guy we're seeing real, progress from in camp too. He's been putting on some things. But I'm
really looking forward to seeing Abracadabra.
Yep.
I'm really looking forward to seeing it. I said, dude, he's like the Magic Man. He's here and then he's gone. It's great. It's like Talladega Nights in a way.
As we continue to talk about,
true. I can't pronounce his name. I don't know, so I just call him Abracadabra, and then it makes sense. He's like the Magic Man, so it works.
Listen,
for me anyway, my stupid brain.
Yeah, listen. As we continue to talk about this team, Rusty, because you bring in the heat. There's a lot of discussion about the Jets wide receiver position, and mainly, man, a lot of people, of course, we talk about Garrett Wilson, who's phenomenal. He's still dealing with the, rolled ankle, nothing crazy. They're just being very, cautious with him. We talk a lot about,
that's a good thing.
Corey Davis as well, who's dealing with a situation too, but everything seems like it's going to be all right with both of those guys. But let me tell you something. Jason Brownlee is showing up and showing out.
I was just going to say that.
My Lord, Rusty.
You see that pluck one-hander he did?
Rusty. Let me tell you something.
One-hand catch? That was
Watch
nasty.
it. Family show. Watch it. But listen.
I said that shiz.
Oh, okay.
Listen,
you two be tripping. Okay. You two be tripping. But listen, Rusty, Jason Brownlee, fire, man.
Here we go.
Let me tell you something. This guy is one-handed catches. We've seen him burn sauce on a play as well. This is a guy that's showing up and showing out. Give me your thoughts on him, Rusty, because he was a guy I talked about before camp, possibly pushing Denzel Mims out the door.
He did.
Denzel Mims is now gone, right? And Jason is out there showing out. Give me your thoughts about him, man.
It's awesome, but it's weird too because how tall is it? He's listed at 6'2". He does not look like he's 6'2". He looks like he's like Lazard's height, like 6'5" or something like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. Like he's doing some cool things, and he's running routes, and got to give it to those scouts down in those South scouts. We might have just stepped in it, man.
Yeah.
Like that. The way that he caught that. That's why I'm like, I don't know, my brain's dropping all over the place. But the way that he caught that pass, that one-handed one, was just, I don't know. It was weird in a good way. He just snatched it, plucked it out. And the Jets didn't even touch him, too. He could have got up and ran for a touchdown.
Yeah.
But, that was one. And then other than that, he's been destroying it, man.
Yeah.
He's some, we got, like when Salah said it, what was it, last year, the year before? It's like a defense of butcher knives, rolling. We might have that with wide receiver.
Yeah.
And And I'm not wishing good luck to anybody in the NFL about that. Nope.
I'm telling you what, Jason.
I hope they all get cut up and slashed.
Yeah, Jason, I'm telling you, he's a guy that's pushing. I think that he could end up making the roster, man. He could be our 6th wide receiver. If the Jets, I think it's so tough to cut him.
Did we draft him, or is he a UDFA?
I think he was a UVFA. I think he was a UVFA.
Wow, that's awesome.
Man, I'm telling you, a guy that is putting
him and Dean the
together.
third.
Man, let me tell you.
We got some sweet safeties too.
Woo. All right, now as we continue to talk, all right, about this team. Stay with me. We got this upcoming game, all right, against the Browns. Okay, Zach Wilson will be playing. What are your expectations from him in this upcoming game? What do you want to see from him, Brusty?
Screen passes, not like 20 feet above somebody's head. I love Zach, but I'm just keeping it real. Like, it's crazy. He can make the most difficult pass, and it's just a flick of the wrist. But the easiest pass that I or you can complete, it's like us trying to do some Mahomes stuff. I don't even know.
Yep.
But yeah, he's got to fix his brain, man. That's what it is. Because, me and you both watch college football, and you especially knew, USC plays BYU, so you've seen him play.
Yeah.
And he wasn't like that, And he had far less better wide receivers, and, it's a whole mental thing, man. So, and that's a great thing too, that Rodgers is in his brain.
Yep.
And and he's going and telling Rodgers, and like Rodgers is like a freaking head coach too. It's crazy. He's going to talk with defensive dudes. It's awesome.
Yeah. No, listen.
He's all in.
Listen, you're talking facts. I want to see Zach Wilson come out.
That's how I feel about Zach. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to see Zach come out and just have command of the offense, man. Have command of the offense. Show that his mechanics are taking a step forward and that he's getting better. He's in a great position, and I think he's set up in a situation to succeed here. But he's just got to show us those steps. I don't need him to come out and throw for 300 yards in a preseason game to impress me. No, come out and do the simple stuff. Show me that you can take what a defense gives you.
No burping the baby.
Yeah, show me that you can just come out.
No happy feet.
Yeah, show me that. Yeah, exactly. Show me that you can come out, be solid mechanically, and get the ball to where it needs to go. Make your reads and beat the defense. That's all. That's all I'm asking you to do. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. Now, as we continue to talk about this offense, Mekhi Becton is also going to be playing. Rusty, I'm hearing a lot about Mekhi Becton's knee, that he's feeling good, that the strength is coming back. Give me your thought about this, man. What are your thoughts about Mekhi, situation with his knee and how he's starting to feel better, and what are you expecting from him in this upcoming preseason game as well?
Well, I don't think everything is going to, of course, come back because it's basically been 2 years since he's been out, unfortunately. But the clips that I've been seeing the past couple, he looks fast.
Yep.
It was surprising, and he's cool too with it. I guess everything settled down, and whatever he had to go through in his head or whoever he had to talk with about it, and he was like, you know what, here this team is rocking and rolling. Wherever they want me to go, I'll go. So whether it be right tackle or left tackle, and it might just actually work out to being left tackle because, I don't know. I love the Raging Cajun too, man. I think Max Mitchell's going to be the right tackle. I really do.
Yeah.
I love that guy. Just thinks about the blood bumble clots and stuff. So,
yeah.
And then you have, all of our left tackles are somewhat injured. So it opens the door it's there for Becton if he wants it, or if he not so much wants it, or his body can handle it, and him mentally too, because that's a weird type of thing too on your knee. Your brain does some weird muscle memory because you're so used to during everything else when you were injured for it, you're favoring something a little bit, and then you have that little slight thing of in the back of your head.
Yep.
Us who had knee surgeries. I don't know if you did, but I did. I think you did too. It's like that little lack of confidence on certain things. It's like, should I? And then that's where it's, if you're an offensive tackle, that split second, that's going to kill you and burn you. Yeah. You're going to have McDonald's flying past you, serving people through the drive-through, and all of a sudden your quarterback's killed.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, listen.
I can't wait to see McDonald kill people too. That's gonna be great. But I'm excited to see Becton.
Yeah, listen, you're really talking facts, man. I've never had, God willing, I hope I never have to have like a knee surgery or nothing like that. But I know a lot of people that have, especially I grew up playing sports, and they say, listen,
I had what Becton had actually. But
wow.
I don't weigh the size of I'm not the size of a redwood, but I had that. Yeah, it was on my left. I tore my right tangtium tendon in half.
Ooh.
And then I had 2 indent fractures on my patella and 3 on my femur, and then they met together. My meniscus evaporated, and then it shot my kneecap out the side, but inside the skin. But it looked like a shark's tooth. And then that's a big, it was awesome. So I had to be in a straight, I had to be in a straight brace. It was like a reverse ACL and the PCL, so where they put you in the machine.
Yeah.
So I had the reverse. I had to wait for my tendons to heal, and I was one of the first ones to get the surgery without stitches. So basically, remember those colored pencils or pens that were like 15 different multicolors, and you can, on the sides you could put them down, but if you took them all down, you'd see all the prongs. But they were all pens. So it looked like that, and they basically welded my tendon back together.
Wow.
And I had to be in a straight brace and I had to learn how to walk again, kneel, heel to toe, all that. It wasn't fun, bro.
Ooh, that sounds like a lot of pain.
I'm 160 pounds, so like what's Becton at that time? He was like, what?
He was like
3 trees.
Yeah, 3. He was like 3. Yeah, listen, I'm sorry that happened to you, Rusty, but
like
like you said as well.
I got over it. That was years ago, but it takes a minute, man, and
Yep.
it messes with your head. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, it does.
Especially with ice, you second guess yourself.
Yep.
It's like, oh, am I going to slip? So I just learned how to fall.
Yeah.
It's weird. I'm just like, screw it. I'm going down to the ground because I don't want to have that happen again.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like I said, I played sports my entire life, and I've had friends that have had knee injuries, like bad ones, and they, just like you, say a lot of things. Listen, it messes with your head. You don't know what's going on. You start to wonder if you can just trust the knee, period. Like, can I just trust it walking? And it really does a number on you. I've sprained my ankle really bad before, to the point where I thought I broke it. It was so bad, and I went, and it wasn't broken. And I remember just coming back from that was like, whoa. Was like, whoa. I even was wondering, like, is my ankle ever going to get better? It felt so bad. So you can imagine, you know, with his knee. And again, he even came out and talked about recently that he had the wrong surgery at first with his knee, and then again the instability caused the issue in 2022. He had to get a surgery again to then fix that. So, you know, I'm just happy to see him back out on the field. I can't wait to see him go out there and doing his thing, and even him talking about being open to playing right tackle. He's willing to go there, and to me, that shows that he's confident in that knee again. Because that was the thing he said that caused it.
Yeah, something happened.
Yeah, that was part of the issue last season. So that shows the confidence.
On my hop again, you know?
Yeah. So, Rusty.
Back to IHOP, innit?
Exactly. My next question for you, man. What rookie are you watching tonight? Not tonight. During the game. What rookie are you going to keep your eyes on the most during the upcoming game against the Browns?
It's crazy, man, because I just had a couple, and then the one from, like, the fault was the linebacker we got in the 4th round. I can't remember his name.
Zaire Barnes.
I wanted, just because I wanted Skinner, JL Skinner.
Yeah.
So I just want to know about that. But I'm happy that we got Trey Dean. He was one of my favorite safeties. So I'm curious to see about him. I hope that he plays. I hope that McDonald plays. I want to see him. Pittman. Becton too, but like out of those rookies, yeah, those are the dudes that I want to see. Yeah. I wonder if Kuntz too.
Yeah.
I just, you know, he's just like a fast. If he's just a fast guy, just put him at wide receiver. You know, just have him run down the field.
Yeah.
Like if he's 6'9" and he can jump that high, forget it. Like, what are you gonna do? You know, you might as well use him for something.
He's big. It's going to be exciting to see what they do with him. I don't know if he'll make the roster. I think that I personally think that
I don't think he will.
If they let him
that'd
go,
be cool if he did.
Yeah, he could absolutely be stashed on the practice squad, but his potential, because of the size and the physical ability, is off the charts. Whew, it's off the charts.
Yeah, that's why it's like, do I cut him? I don't know. Yeah, that's where the if is. Because then it's between him and Yeboah?
Yeah.
And Yeboah is awesome, too, and he plays special teams. So, and he's good at special teams. So you don't want to get rid of that, too. We're in a good pickle, Rick.
We are. You know, carrying all those tight again. And we're talking about Jason Brownlee, the way he's flashing. It's going to be some crazy cuts. You know, when the time comes, it's going to be crazy to see how they round out this roster. Now, my final question before I let you go, Rusty, because you've been bringing the heat. Give me your thoughts about Revis and Klecko getting into the Hall of Fame. How do you feel about it? How excited are you to watch these two great Jets, get their just due?
Klecko. Like, Revis is one of the best cornerbacks, period. Just on who he had. Like, even if you go back from 90s, all those dudes, Dion and everybody. Like,
you're breaking up, Rusty. You're breaking up a little bit.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can hear you. You were breaking up before.
All right, I'm sorry.
Oh, Rusty, you're breaking up. But listen, I'm pretty sure, you know, hopefully you're breaking up a little bit. Maybe you can move a little bit.
I'm trying. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. I can hear you now.
Yeah, right there?
Yeah, this is perfect.
Before I got rudely interrupted by yeah, well, I mean, he went against Megatron, went against the best of them. Like, Owens, I hated him, but it stinks. You have to give credit where credit was due.
Yeah.
He shut down those guys. He shut down Moss. He even played against most of his teams. Like someone below him did good, and then the guy was unbelievable. And then Klecko was an All-Pro at 3 different positions.
Yep.
3.
Yep.
Like nose tackle and like that doesn't happen. Still to this day hasn't happened.
Mm-hmm.
And he would still have the all-time sack record if it wasn't for that ridiculous thing with Strahan. Oh well, he'd be number 2. I hate Favre even more too. Oh, it's cahoots, but it's whatever. You know, Super Bowl rings cure everything, and I'm glad we're into the Hall of Fame. So that's good.
Yeah. Listen.
That's what it's all about.
Listen, Rusty, it's been phenomenal speaking with you. I got to slide off. Next time I have a show, call in. I love talking Jets with you, man.
Absolutely, fam. Shout out to you. Shout out to fellow Savages. Salute. Let's go, Jets. Let's murder everybody. Take no prisoners.
Let's go. Listen, Rusty bringing the heat, man. A lot of stuff going on. Salutes to all the Savages in the chat. I got to come to y'all. Cameron Trammell in the chat salutes Savage. He says, when healthy, it's hard to tackle Michael Carter. I believe he was kind of banged up last year as well, as no one talks about it, though. The same as Corey Davis. Yeah, Corey Davis has got quite a bit to show. He's been looking good in camp, too. He's been making some plays. There was a throw that Aaron Rodgers made to him that was exciting, and he dove out and caught it. So Corey Davis looking like he's going to be a guy that's going to go into the season this year with the New York Jets. And let me tell you something. This Jets wide receiver core is not going to be something to laugh at. All right. Corey Davis, Mecole Hardman, Lazard, Garrett Wilson, Cobb, Jason Brownlee coming along. Boy, oh boy. Good luck on covering us. Okay. Jennifer in the chat as well. Salutes to you, Savage. She said Brownlee is how we hoped Mims would be. That's a fact. That is a fact. Okay. Brownlee out there doing his thing right now. He's cooking. We're going to see what's going on. Also, Sludge Sports salutes. Good to see you in here as well. Man, this has been quite a show, okay? I'm excited. I cannot wait to see what happens in this upcoming preseason game against the Browns. Again, I want to see Zach Wilson come out and be solid, play with some confidence out there. I know the confidence has been a big issue with him in the past, right? Very unconfident last season. He was very shot. Confidence-wise, and he's been able to, really get his thing going. So, it's going to be exciting to see what he's going to be able to bring to the table. I'm excited to see Mekhi Becton as well go out there. A lot of questions about the offensive line coming into this upcoming season, especially with Dwayne Brown still being on a PUP. We're trying to see, who's going to compete, and if Mekhi Becton can come out there, man, boy, oh boy, and put on a show, be solid. Get that strength in that knee underneath him and get rolling. We're going to be in some good times, man, and some good situations. So I'm hyped. I'm hyped about this upcoming game. Again, the rookies, we'll see. I think Will McDonald's playing in this game. We'll see if he does. But, Tippmann at some point is going to get in there. Can't wait to see him. And what he's going to be able to do. Again, that center spot, still battling. We'll see if he can step up and grab it or if Connor McGovern's going to be the starter. But this is Tippmann's time, so we're going to see what time it is. It's going to be really, really exciting this upcoming game, man. Really exciting this upcoming game. Also, when you look at the other side of the ball as well, defensively, boy, oh boy, some questions. This Jets linebacker position, a lot of things moving and shaking there. Let's see, if these guys can keep up. A guy like Zaire Barnes, what can he put out there on the field? So it's going to be extremely exciting to see. We finally got some football. Guys going to be running out there as preseason. But, getting some early looks. So we're going to go ahead and close out this show. Salutes to everybody that watched. This was a hot show. Got a lot of things moving and shaking. Listen, I'm the man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote my Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search The Long Beach Joe Show. Like that page. My content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message me. I'll message you right back. I love going back and forth with all you folks about this football team. Also, leave me some feedback. I love hearing about what you folks think I do here on my show. I am also on Twitter as well. Okay, going over to Twitter, type in @The Long Beach Joe, @The Long Beach Joe on Twitter. Follow me. I'll follow you right back. You want to troll me? No issues. I am the troll that lives under the bridge, and I will have my Vera Tucker jersey on at all times. At all times. All right. There's a lot of questions along the offensive line, but I'll tell you what, Vera Tucker, I don't question him, okay? That guy's an all-pro caliber guard, okay? Coming off the injury, I think he's going to dominate people this upcoming season, all right? I'm just saying. But you know how we do it over there at SC. Fight on, okay? I'm just saying. So come on down that bridge and, I'll troll you. And as always, people, I'm on YouTube as well. Come on over to YouTube. Type in Long Beach Joe Jets on YouTube. Subscribe if you have not subscribed and hit that notification bell so when I post content, you folks will be in the know, okay? Also give the videos and streams a thumbs up. Share them across your social media platforms with your friends and your family so I can connect with other folks. You know what I mean? And if you want to troll me, you can get in those comments as well and troll me in those comments, okay? I love going back and forth with folks. And as always, people, when you see me in person, because you will see me in person eventually, it is arms out, chest open, free hugs for everyone. Free hugs for everyone. The hugs will cost you absolutely nothing. I want to thank you folks for taking the times out of your day to call in, to get in the chat, salutes to the savages, and to connect with me any way that you do. Thank you for watching, all right? Listen, again, without you people, I'm absolutely nothing, and I appreciate you and your time. So until the next show, you folks have a good one. Peace. 1 second, folks. Pow, I should be back. Okay. Listen, salutes. I want to thank everybody for joining me. For those of you that are new, we do these shows a year around, okay? Year round, we do these shows. And we have a lot of fun. Exclamation point. Oh, no. Excuse me. Exclamation point. Links in the chat brings up my link tree. The link tree has the links to all of my social media platforms, okay? It also has the links to all of my YouTube channels as well. Please check those out. I got more reactions coming soon. I have a reaction channel, so please go check that out as well and subscribe. It also has the links, again, to all my social media. Follow me across all my social media and talk to me because I talk back. All right. Now, again, the shows are not necessarily on a set day because my schedule is wild. But if you follow me across my social media, I post hours before that I'm going live. I also post it on YouTube as well on the community wall. So please, be on the lookout for that as well. I post that so everybody knows. So again, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell if you have not subscribed already. One of the things I do not allow on my show is cursing, okay? Do not call into my show cursing. I'll get you out of here fast. This is a family show, okay? A family show. We have a lot of young people and older people that listen to the show and listen to what I do, so we have to respect their ears, okay? I know it can be frustrating sometimes, especially as a Jets fan, all right? We've had some tough times in the past, but don't curse on my show, all right? Not only do we do these radio shows throughout the week, but sometimes, during the season, we do live watch-alongs during the season where we'll sit down, I'll be streaming, we'll be watching the Jets game together, and then directly after the Jets game, we then have a live radio show, and boy, those are hot, okay? Those are some hot ones. Hopefully they're better. Hopefully they're not as anger-filled as they were last season or the season before that. Oh my goodness. I remember the Gaze season like it was yesterday. When Adam Gaze was the head coach, for those 2 seasons, boy. Those were some anger-filled shows, okay? All right. My show has been known to be called Jets Therapy. People call in and, expose their feelings. And this is a safe space, okay? But again, we do not allow cursing, okay? I understand the frustration, but don't call into my show cursing. Now, this number right here to the show will be the number for the show for the foreseeable future, okay? Now, keep in mind, my shows generally start at 7 p.m. Eastern, okay? The deal is, though, that the lines for my show, the telephone lines, open at 6:50 p.m. Eastern, okay? This is an old trick that some veteran callers use. If you want to get on my show first or early, right, generally what I'll do, okay, is we start the show, and I'll talk for maybe like 10 minutes talking about what's going on with the New York Jets and, things I want to discuss. So maybe it's about 10 minutes, right? And then I immediately go to the lines because I want to talk to the people, okay? Excuse me. I want to talk to the people, all right? So in wanting to talk to the people, if you call in at 6:50, which is what some people do, I'm not going to tell you who does it. There's a person or people that do it. So what they do is they call in at 6:50. They wait about 5 to 10 minutes for me to talk about and get my little takes out. And then boom, they get right on the line first. And there's a lot of people that do that. Okay. There's some people that do it more often than others. There's a lot of people that do that. So that's something I like to put out there. Okay. You call this number right here at 6:50 and just wait on the line. When it's time to roll and we get into the callers, you're going to be, first along the callers that call in. So, and again, even if you don't call in first, believe me, I'll get to you because my hold times are not long. Generally, I'll talk to people for about 5 to 8 minutes, especially when the show's loaded with callers. As y'all saw tonight, we had a bunch of callers as well, but show's really hot, really stacked up and get rolling. We definitely, talk that talk. But, that's something I like to put out there because there's a lot of veteran people that have been watching me and interacting with your boy for a long time. So they, have been using that. So I like to put that out there. Okay. So, also I have a queue system. So when you call in, I can physically see you. Like I can see you when you call in. Okay. Don't call in and hang up and call in and hang up and call in and hang up. That'll put you at the bottom of the queue. Also, I don't care if you've been a Jets fan for 10 minutes or 10 years. Wherever you're at in the queue, that's how I'm going to answer, my calls. I go down the queue. It's because I respect everyone's time. Keep in mind, we have a lot of callers and people that join the show that are not even Jets fans at all. And I welcome that too. Fans from whatever fan base you're a part of or whatever team you like, or even if you don't like football at all, but you're interested in Jets, call in. I want to talk to you. Okay. But we definitely are open to people that are outside of the Jets fan base to call in and talk to us about, what they think. We have that. We have a Falcons fan that calls in all the time, a Raiders fans that call in all the time. Patriots fans have been here calling in all the time. Listen, as long as you call in and you want to talk about what's going on here and have a discussion on the Jets from the outside from the outside looking in, then hey, I'm all about it. We even discuss a little bit about other teams on here too. So don't be afraid if you are not a Jets fan to call in. We can definitely have that discussion. But again, no cursing on my show, and come in talking. Don't come in trying to crazy troll. All right, come in talking. Let's have that discussion before you want to, the Jets are blah blah blah. We allow that too. You want to get your troll off about the Jets, but don't get too crazy. Okay, don't get too crazy. All right. So we have a lot of fun doing that stuff. We also game on this channel as well, so keep that in mind. If you ever catch me playing NBA 2K or Street Fighter, all that stuff, I'll get back to that at some point. My schedule is just wild. Please. Come on in and check with me. I know there's a lot of people that are angry with your boy for not playing video games as much as we were in the past when my schedule was a little bit lighter. But we're going to get back to that at some point. So, again, I want to thank everybody for watching. Sludge Sports salutes to you. Good to see you in here. He says, I don't really care about the Jets, but I saw this, and I was bored. Well, salutes. Thank you for joining in. Please subscribe. Come on by. See what's up. See what we're doing in here. Hope to have you call in one day and talk about the Jets with us. Jennifer salutes. Good to see you in here as well. Cameron, always good to see you in here too. He says, talk that talk, Joe. Salutes, man. Venom G salutes. Okay. Jonesy salutes. He says, after the Broncos win, give Payton the game ball. Yeah, we'll see about that. Salutes to you. Jets mess salutes. Deshaun Lattimore salutes. Everybody that came on by said what's up to your boy. Talk to me. Salutes. All right. And I want to thank you guys for, coming on by and interacting with me. It's really, this is what I do it for, interact with people, talking about this football team and, getting our takes, getting our passion, getting our love out there about this squad. So I appreciate y'all. I'm going to get on up out of here. Again, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Hit that notification bell. Hit that like button as well. Listen, be safe. All right. Be safe out here, people. A lot of things moving and shaking. World's getting crazy. I don't know why. Don't ask me. Okay. But it's getting crazier and crazier. A lot of wild things happening in this world. All right. Be safe. Sit down with your friends and your family, people that you love the most, right? Eat some good food, watch some good TV, make some good moments, okay, with the people that you love the most, and let the people that you love know that you love them. It's extremely important to me in my life. I hope it's important to you and yours, okay? All right? That's if you take nothing else from me, trust, that you should do that in your life because you never know. You never know, all right? I'll see you folks on the next show.